So we now have our rough cut car. Next thing we're going to use is we're going to use our rasps and our files to clean up the car. What we want to do is we now want to use that to cut off quite a bit of material in order to get closer to our actual line. Now when we do this, there's a couple things we're going to avoid. First thing is we're not going to do it over the desk. All that's going to do is scratch up the desk, and it's not going to leave you with a very good product. So what you're going to do is you're going to lean it over the side of the desk. You're going to take the rasp first. You can tell it's a rasp because it's a lot sharper. The file side has a much smaller profile, so you're not going to get as much material off. So we're going to take our rasp on our straight, right here where it's straight. We want the flat piece, the flat rasp, and we're just at a 45-degree angle. We're just going to do it very lightly. And notice how I am moving it down and along the edge of the car. What we're not going to do is we're not going to take it and do it like this in one spot. We're not going to do it like this on the desk. We're going to put it over the edge, and we're going to slowly push down, let the rasp do the work for you. Until we get a nice rounded edge like we want. Okay, let me clean it up with the file. Now with the file, it's not as bad. The rasp only goes in one direction, so there's no point in trying to do this. We're just going to do it like this. It's going to take off plenty of material. So as you can see, we have a nice flat edge where we haven't done it, where we have not used the rasp, and then we're starting to get a nice rounded edge on the side where we did use the rasp. So let's clean up the front a little bit. So I'm going to again hold it over the edge, and I'm just going to move it along just like that. Now, if you find once you get a little rounded, if you want to kind of do like that, that's fine. So now we have a nice rounded edge. Okay. Now, in the corners here, in the little circular area here, the flat is just not going to get in there. So we have a rounded rasp, perfect for just getting that little area. And if you want to give it a little twist while you're doing it, that's fine. And in this case, it's okay to do a straight through if you need, okay? And then for really tight spots, we have the circular rasp. Once you're done with the rasps, use the file to clean it all up. Okay. And we'll use the file to clean things up. Once you got to this point, your car is to the shape that you want it, the rough shape that you want it. Now it's time to move on to the sandpaper. At this point, you should have a rough cut car, two axle holes, and I still have the template on. If you still have it on at this point, go ahead and peel it off. You may find that you may have to sand it off in some spots, and that's fine. So, there we go. It's time to move on to the sanding. We have 3 different grits of sand. We have 120 grit. That's going to be very coarse. It's going to take off a lot of material. It's going to feel a lot more a lot sandier. We have about a 240 and we have a 320. We're going to start with our 120. And the 120 again is going to take off. I need about this much. I like to use it. And what I'll do is I'll put my thumb and my finger and hold it like that. And then I will just run it along the course. And the goal here is we want to make sure that all of the tool marks are gone. You can see that I still have a tool mark here. Now it should have been taken off I should have cleaned it up with the rasp. I didn't, so I'm going to use my 120 sandpaper to clean that up. Because the last thing we want is to have a lot of tool marks. Tool marks, all they're going to do is they're going to make your paint job look sloppy, and they're going to create places where wind is going to catch your car. You don't want that. You want your car to be as smooth as possible to make it as fast as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean it up. Now, your car is going to really start to feel a lot smoother with the 120, and it's going to look awesome. And then what you're going to want to do, once you got all the tool marks off and the car is in the shape that you want it, you're going to move down to the 240. And the 240, if you thought it felt smooth before with the 120, is going to feel even smoother. Okay? Yeah, there is a lot of dust going on. It's a very dusty process. Also, this is balsa wood instead of basswood, just because it's a little bit easier to shape. You will be using basswood because balsa wood's almost cheating, and we don't want that. We want basswood. It's a good, heavier material, and it will hold the little eye holes a lot better. Once you've used your 240, you're going to move up to 320, and then again, I'm not doing the whole car. I'm just using this as a move on. I need to clean this up a little bit. I'm not doing the whole car. I'm just doing enough to give you the idea. Oh, that is so much smoother. And once you're done with the 320, now you're ready to paint. Fantastic.